at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Peterson Insurance Services in Clinton is a 2014 Pekin Insurance Illinois Agency of the Year. Jay Peterson here from Peterson Insurance. Find out about Pekin's auto, home, or life insurance by clicking on our icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
There's a reason WHOW is the Big 1520 across central Illinois. That's because anytime the sun is up, you can hear WHOW's big signal from Jacksonville to Peoria, from Pontiac to the Indiana state line, and to Charleston and Effingham. Anywhere you travel in central Illinois, take WHOW, the Big 1520, with you in your car, truck, or tractor. Just another reason why WHOW is Central Illinois' news, agriculture, and talk station.
News time 8 minutes after 8 o'clock on this Wednesday. Top of the morning from the newsroom of Regional Radio and DeWittDailyNews.com. I'm Seth Lawrence with this expanded local newscast brought to you by Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton, your Silverado headquarters. And the morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. The former mayor of Clinton made an appearance at the Clinton City Council meeting to implore the council to take advantage of funding that is available for improvements to the water plants. Former Mayor Roger Cerulik Tuesday night wondered how much engineering had been done on the water plant and how much grant funding had been pursued this year. Commissioner John Weiss explained the pursuit of those dollars falls on their engineers.
So how much engineering have we got in 23 and 24 on that improvements?
All the engineering for almost all those projects have been, the engineering is already pretty much done. Now it'll just be a matter of waiting for when the state's going to free up the money. We've already said that we're going to try to do it in a quicker span. We're going to do it in phases. So the next one would be the Quincy Street, the water tower, those projects. That will be the next ones, and that will be as the money is available. We'll be shovel ready already. They've already got the engineering done. They already have it ready to go, and it'll just be a matter of when those cycles come through with the money so we can get a forgiveness and the money brought in. And that's going to be possibly next year, the way they talk about it.
You've applied for that low interest loan?
That's what they're waiting on. Whenever that comes up, they're going to have it all ready to go, and we'll be one of the
What's
first
the process?
projects. Do what now?
What's the process of going through to get the loan?
They wait until the state and the federal government says that the money is there, and then they go ahead and they file their paperwork and have it already in there.
What is that application process?
Just that. Just the engineers will take and wait till they say that it's available, then they'll send in our shovel-ready project, and then they have to wait and get the money approved.
Cerulik, who resigned as the mayor in late July of 2023, had questions regarding why funds were not pursued last year and who put a halt to the pursuit of funds he questioned were available.
Why didn't we apply for the loan in 23 when we already had that already done?
Because as far as I knew, that money had not been approved yet and had not been...
You got to apply for it first.
I know that, but
that's part of the application.
Okay. I wait for them to tell me when that is appropriate and when
engineer?
they apply for it.
The engineer?
Yeah,
Mayor Roth?
Yes, I wait for my...
Well, you're working with the same engineer?
Yes, we still have the same engineering company. And I wait for them to tell me when that application needs to move forward, because then they'll have to get signatures from us to move it forward. But as far as I know, that has not came to fruition yet.
Have you talked to Mayor Roth personally yourself on it?
The last time that we talked to them was in an open meeting in the council, and they gave us the update on what they were working on and how that was proceeding. And that's probably the last time.
All the paperwork I seen had Lloyd Francis on it. He may not even know you exist.
Yeah. Well,
everything came to Lloyd.
Yeah, and that's the way it usually is, the way it works.
And they started the process for this loan.
Okay.
Then in the middle of it, somebody said stop.
The money's not available yet.
Who stopped it?
I never had anything to say about stopping it.
The money's not available yet.
As a parting shot on his way out Tuesday, the ex-mayor told the council to stay on those low-interest loan pursuits and said, quote, "This is why I quit."
Stay on the low-interest loan, guys. You had the opportunity in 22 to present it in 23, and somehow somebody missed it. It cost us $50,000. You guys, you signed off on it. You and John signed off on it. That's good money. Could have been used somewhere else. And it isn't going to help. It isn't going to help for the next application because all the prices of producing that water has changed. You've got higher wages. You've got higher products to put in the water. Everything's raised. That $50,000, you might as well burn it. That's why I quit. You guys need to do your job for the public.
Commissioner Weiss, during his portion of the meeting, told the council, the public in the audience, they are at the mercy of both the engineers and the state of Illinois, making loans and grants available.
I wish Roger hadn't left. I'd like to have answered a couple of other questions real quick, and I will do that because I'm sitting here. And he started bringing up about 21 and 22. A lot of the problem is I do not have a working budget that I can just go out and just produce $1.5 to $2.5 million. I don't have it. We're paying off loans. We have 2 loans. We have a water tower. We have a main extension project that we're working on. When we were looking at that, even back in 21 and 22, we were trying to pay off the loans that we already have for the projects we had. We ended up getting money that was pretty much given to us because of COVID funds. It was a fund that they gave us money, and that gave us the money to do what we're doing at the plant now. The new valves, the new lime silo, the new equipment for the computer. That was $800 and some thousand that was just kind of handed to us that we could take and go ahead and start on that project because it was ready to go. Engineers, I know Roger hates them with a passion. They are a necessary evil. I can't do anything in any project without them because it has to meet all the state and federal codes. If I could, it would be great. I understand where you get frustrated. $50,000 to do these things and then we can't just proceed with it. But until that money is made available, I can't. I don't have it. I'm running on a strict budget.
Also at the Tuesday night Clinton City Council meeting, the council approved the purchase of 14 tasers for the police department at a cost not to exceed $50,000. The council approved the engineer estimate for improvements to West Leander Street from Rosewood to Park Lane West at a cost of just over $73,000. And the council approved the designer and building contract with Core Construction and Farnsworth Group for the new City Hall building. It could be a wet 4th of July for parts of Illinois. On the WHOW Morning Show Tuesday, Ed Shimon at the National Weather Service in Lincoln told Regional Radio things will warm up as we get into the holiday later this week.
It looks like, we are going to heat up. Today and tomorrow are really warm, muggy. It's going to be, kind of sticky out there as temperatures approach the 90-degree level. And then we're going to have some rain moving in. So it's not going to be a washout for any of the days, really. I mean, our rain most currently that we're looking at is for tonight into Wednesday morning, and that's going to wane. There's going to be a big break in rain, and then there's going to be some more rain maybe as we head overnight into 4th of July morning. A few pop-up showers maybe still lingering in the morning on Thursday, and then a pretty sizable break again as we head towards the evening. So I'm thinking we may be able to get those festivities in because there is a line of storms moving in for overnight, the 4th of July night. We're just kind of crossing our fingers that they don't arrive before like that 10:30 time frame. And it looks like Clinton and Lincoln are pretty safe. It's going to move in from the west, like Galesburg. They might be on the edge. Peoria probably is going to be okay. But as you get to Springfield, Lincoln, Clinton, I think those will all arrive late enough that we probably will have a decent 4th of July evening. Cross your fingers, knock on wood, whatever you want to do. The forecast sounds ominous, 80% chance on 4th of July, but there's going to be big breaks in there. So we're hoping those breaks are cooperative with plans.
Temperatures for the 4th should be very mild. Shimon indicates we tend to see highs in the mid to upper 80s, but after the midweek warm-up, things will return to mild temperatures getting into the 4th of July weekend.
It'll be mid to upper 80s today and tomorrow. Pretty muggy. The dew points are going to start climbing into the 60s because right now this morning it wasn't bad. Mid 50s dew points, pretty good, pretty comfortable. But by the end of the day today, those are going to creep up with some pretty strong gusty southerly winds. Upper 80s today, tomorrow, and then those storms really start moving in with a cold front as we head into Independence Day on 4th of July. So the high on the 4th of July is technically only supposed to be about 82, which isn't too bad really, and there'll probably be enough cloud cover to really keep it from getting intense heat and anybody that's even potentially in the sunshine for any period of time during the day. But it does. We do have thunderstorms possible through the day, so there could be a few pop-up ones in the afternoon. But I'm crossing my fingers, like I said, that the evening looks quiet for most areas. The low 4th of July night is down only 70, so it's going to be muggy overnight still on Thursday night. Friday we top out at 81. And that heads into the weekend the same way. Saturday's 81. So pretty nice day Saturday. 4th of July weekend is going to start out great. Storm chances, unfortunately, return on Sunday. We've got about 30 to 40% chance as we warm up again, mid to upper 80s again on Sunday. So all in all, I think there's going to be enough breaks that people are going to be able to enjoy some time outdoors.
July temperatures are going to warm up and precipitation is going to fall off after a wet signal to start the month. We'll hear more from Shimon on the rest of July and get an update on that drought condition in Illinois in the days ahead here on Regional Radio. Food, friends, and family are staples of our 4th of July celebrations, and a local nutrition educator is encouraging food safety this week. Caitlin Mellendorf is a nutrition educator at the University of Illinois Extension in DeWitt, Macon, and Piatt counties. She says keeping hot foods hot and cold foods cold is instrumental in a food-safe holiday gathering.
I encourage you to bring equipment to keep foods hot or cold if the dish requires it. So if you're bringing brownies, those can sit out at room temperature, no worries. But if you're going to be bringing meat that's been, maybe grilled or smoked, and you want to keep that hot while everybody's kind of nibbling on things, maybe you're doing shredded pork for barbecue, or you've got, I think for this weekend, we were just talking off air about, I've got some family stuff this weekend. I think one of my uncles is going to be smoking a turkey, so we'll have that. But to bring a roasting pan or a slow cooker, something to keep that food hot while it's sitting out. That makes it much easier to save that food later for leftovers versus when it sits out at room temperature. After about 2 hours, that's when we start to see bacteria start growing in food when things are sitting at room temperature. And then we would recommend not saving those for leftovers, and especially if you want to save those leftovers, using that equipment to keep it hot. Or the opposite, trying to keep things cold. So if you've got a fruit salad, if you've got pasta salad, you've got some type of product that needs to stay cold, same thing. You can bring out a platter with some ice and kind of shimmy that bowl into the ice. You can bring, maybe you've got a little like mini wine cooler, some type of electronic miniature refrigerator that you can put those things in. And so people know where it's at. They can come and get a sample of it, but it can always stay cold during that time. Whatever it works for you to do that. Or if you're just okay with it being out at room temperature, know that when you get to that 2 hour mark, start putting foods back into cold storage. And so that way you can save those leftovers for another day.
Food preparation is also instrumental in a food-safe holiday. Mellendorf encourages keeping those surfaces you're preparing food on clean, using different utensils when preparing meats, and cleaning that grill surface between cooks.
Hand washing is always number one. Make sure that you're washing your hands, and anytime that you're changing a task. So and I think a lot of us home cooks, that's what we do, right? We need to get the meat prepped for the grill, but then we need to go work on a fruit salad, and then we also need to get maybe bread sliced, to make sandwiches or rolls or buns sliced. So anytime you're changing tasks, it's a great opportunity to make sure you're washing hands, because especially if you're working with raw meat and then you're going to go work with that fruit salad, hand washing is going to be a great safety measure just to make sure you're not cross-contaminating between those two products. And as you said, having zones on your grill, because we do cook meats and fish to different temperatures, and you can find all of those recommended temperatures on our website or through USDA, that it's a good idea to have separate tongs or other utensils to flip the meat between those different meat products, as well as putting them on separate areas of your grill. One, to just keep track of what you got, but also to be able to have food safety in mind when you're doing that. And then same for those transfers. So if you're working maybe in an outdoor kitchen or you're taking things out to a grill, having a clean set of plates and utensils, tongs, that kind of thing, to be able to say, I'm going to take this meat that's uncooked, I'm going to take it out, I'm going to use one set of tongs to put the meat on, and then once those plates and tongs have been used, they've touched raw meat, I take those, put them aside, and I've got a new set ready to go that is clean, and so when the meat is finally cooked, I can transfer it to that nice clean plate.
The final tip from Mellendorf is to get those foods cooked to their appropriate internal temperatures. She says the most accurate way to make sure food is ready to eat is a food thermometer.
Food thermometers are your friend. I know that the adage of, especially for something like a burger or a steak, of you make a fist, and then depending on how firm different parts of your wrist feels is supposed to be a good measure of doneness. Just pull out a nice food thermometer. You can buy them at a grocery store even for like $5. They're very inexpensive, and do use those to make sure you've got proper temperatures. So things like that you might be cooking for this holiday weekend. With burgers, we're looking to about 155 or 160. For anything chicken related, poultry, we are looking at 165. And then for things like fish, if you're doing maybe salmon or something on the grill, or you're going out to the lake and you're going to maybe grill up some fish, we're looking at 145. So that is that range. And again, you can always check out USDA's website for those times and temperatures, but know that they are different between different food products. And so you do need to be aware of those. And I will add too that if you are traveling, so if you are going to go visit friends and family that are a couple hours away and you are bringing a dish with you, make sure that you are able to keep that product warm enough or cold enough. And some ways you can do that would be to have that food hot, ready to go, adding it to maybe a slow cooker or some type of insulated crock, wrap it in towels and multiple towels, and stick it in something that helps keep it warm. Or if you have electricity built into your vehicle and you're able to plug it in, you can certainly use that, so you can keep maybe like a slow cooker or a roaster or something else that's keeping it warm on the drive. Same thing for cold stuff. Pack it with ice, grab a cooler that's insulated, go grab some ice on your way in, and keep that food product cold when you're traveling with food.
The 4th of July can bring out some great meals thanks to those fresh fruits and vegetables now in season. Mellendorf encourages a visit to the Extension website, extension.illinois.edu, or the USDA's meat and poultry hotline number is 888-MP-HOTLINE. That's 888-674-6854. You can also go online to ask.usda.gov. 25 minutes after the hour. Much more to get to coming up on the morning show.
Baum Chevrolet Buick offers full transportation options while giving you peace of mind. This is Scott Baum from Baum Chevrolet Buick here in Clinton. This is what we do every day. We listen to you, give you options for routine maintenance, major mechanical problems, or collision repairs with a staff that's knowledgeable to find the best option for you. Baum Chevrolet Buick, your full-service dealer. See us at BaumChevyBuick.com right from the start.
News time 25 minutes after 7 o'clock on this Wednesday. The Illinois State Museum is seeking Route 66 stories for the Mother Road's 100th anniversary in 2026. Oral histories with travelers, businesses, highway builders, and others will be recorded, says the museum's Amanda Bryden.
Yes, so people who are interested in participating in our program can contact us by email or by phone call. And what we're looking for is for folks who have firsthand experiences of Route 66 during the heyday. So we're talking about really before it was decommissioned in the 1980s. So from the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, mid 80s. And folks who travel the road, whether it was for business or pleasure, maybe they worked at a restaurant or a motel or some sort of other business or just frequented those businesses. So really just like any sort of experiences that they had. When we're doing this as you mentioned, like ramping up to the 100th anniversary, which is in 2026. So basically, like Route 66, whenever it was like a working road, like before the interstate came in.
Those interested in participating in the project can email judy.wagenblast, that's WAGENBLAST at Illinois.gov. The U.S. Supreme Court will not step in and directly review the state's assault weapons ban. That leaves the law in place and directs lower courts to hear cases before any action could be taken by the nation's highest court. The ruling came 2 days before the second anniversary of the mass shooting at the Highland Park 4th of July parade. After 7 people were killed and dozens more injured, the state passed measures banning assault-style weapons, bump stocks, and other gun accessories. Governor J.B. Pritzker has maintained those laws make Illinois safer.
I mean, we certainly have made sure that we're addressing many of the major issues that we're facing in terms of people who shouldn't have weapons, obtaining them, trying to make sure that we're taking weapons away from people who have weapons now who shouldn't have them. As you know, we also, in addition to banning bump stocks, we also banned switches, which turn a regular gun or a semi-automatic gun, either one, into essentially a machine gun, just like a bump stock does for a semi-automatic weapon. We've banned those.
Governor Pritzker was in Washington with a number of Democratic governors meeting with President Joe Biden. News time is 28 minutes after 7 o'clock on this Wednesday. Coverage of news is brought to you by Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton, your Silverado headquarters, and we stream to Facebook and YouTube. Brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton.